Hello, my name is Joseph Anthony, and today I will be explaining to you the basics of how a mobile jammer works. First, let's get on with it. Let's see what the index part of it is. We'll be explaining and we'll be looking into what a mobile jammer is, why they're used, how they work, the different techniques that are there, and then the different the block diagram and of how the mobile jammer looks from the inside, and so on and so forth. So let's get on with it. So what is a mobile jammer? A mobile jammer is basically a device which blocks the reception of signals, right? It creates signals of the same frequency as that of the mobile, and it helps block the signal of the mobile phone. Why and where are they used? This is a very important question. It's used for its various advantages and disadvantages that it provides. So one of the main reasons that it is used is because it can be used in hostage situations when there's a crisis, for example, if there is a bank and there's a robbery taking place and the police want to take control of that situation, they usually block the signal, they jam the area so that there is no communication from the inside of the bank to the outside out areas. And other than that, it is used in places where it's less desirable, like theaters, where we don't need to be using phones, like theaters, churches, and operating rooms. How do they work? A jamming device basically transmits a radio frequency same as that of the cell phone, which disrupts the communication between the phone and the cell phone base station in the tower. It's called denial of service attack. In this picture, if you can look, there's a car traveling and there's a mobile jammer being placed in its area, close to its area, and this cell phone is it's not being able to send any signal because of the mobile jammer. Then also obviously, so this causes the interference with communication of cell phones, and because of which there is no signal on the phone and the phone becomes useless. So that's that. Then the different jamming techniques. There are two main techniques, that is the noise technique and the repeater technique. Under noise technique, we have three different types of technique. That's spot jamming, which is commonly used, spot jamming, sweep jamming, and barrage jamming. Then under repeater technique, we have DRFM jamming. So spot jamming is basically a jammer that focuses all of its power in a single frequency, rendering the technique ineffective against a frequency agile radar. Sweep jamming is basically a process of shifting a jammer's full power from one frequency to another. The sweeping motion basically jams multiple frequency in quick succession, although not all at the same time. Barrage jamming, from the word you can understand, basically this is the jamming of multiple frequency at once by a single jammer. Now, obviously, it won't have the same effect for every single frequency because it's trying to block multiple frequency with one single frequency. So it'll have less power, less powerful for different frequencies. Then we have DRFM, which is a repeater technique, and it's called digital frequency radio memory. Basically, what it does, it confuses the radar by altering and retransmitting received radar energy. Now we have the block diagram for this. So we have the power supply. Power supply is used to provide the power to the entire section of the mobile jammer with the available voltages. IF section is just a triangular or sawtooth wave generator. And then we have the RF section, which is the heart of the mobile jammer, because the output of the RF section is interacting with the mobile. And then we have the RF section that generates, obviously we have the RF section that generates RF signal, which is interacting with the cell phones, and thus it's blocking the cell phone from interacting with other people. Then we have, let's get into more of how the power supply works. The power supply basically has a transformer, which is used to transform 220 volt AC to other voltage level. The rectification is used to convert the AC voltage to DC voltage, and it can be done with two processes, which is full using a full wave and half wave rectification. Then we have the filter. Sorry, yeah. I changed the slide. So we have the filter, which basically has filters all the noises and the fluctuations which there in that. Yeah. So in the next slide, this is a picture of a mobile jammer, and also in the pre-after filter we have the regulator, which regulates the DC voltage level that we require. And this is in this slide we have the picture of a mobile jammer. Then we have the applications jammer. I've already explained the application in one way, how in a hostage situation. Then we also have other situations like in a classroom where we less, it's the use of phone is less desirable, and in a library we need to maintain silence so that people don't get distracted by their phones and all that. In seminar halls and meeting rooms to avoid disturbances. Now, obviously, in business meetings and all, it can also be used for security purposes so that confidential information isn't leaked, and it is also used in hospitals. Then the mobile jammers are used in temples, churches, etc. Now this obviously this question comes up: who can use mobile jammers, right? Uh, we can't just buy it from Amazon and just start using it whenever we need. It can be bought by the used by ministries, Department of Government of India, and it can also be used by the defense forces, the central security organizations, police departments, and jail authorities. Then yeah, so these are few of the people who can actually use jammers in India legally. Then for conclusion, obviously there are different advantages and disadvantages for both of these things, and it all boils down to how we make use of it. And at the end, mobile jammers are very useful to the society, as explained in various areas. And yeah, that's all that there is there for this presentation. Thank you.